So for this adventure, I'm out at Adirondack Park in the high peaks, and the game plan is to camp a couple nights and somewhere around Marcy Dam. Hopefully, I'm getting kind of a late start. It's a Friday and it is getting busy, and it's after 10 o'clock because I couldn't find the motivation to get moving. But they have trail people kind of talk to you, keep track of that stuff at the trailhead, and they seem to think I'll be all right. There's supposedly quite a few options out here. But anyways, the goal today, find a campsite and hopefully scoot up Phelps and tabletop in a reasonable amount of time, and then tomorrow tackle Marcy and maybe Gray and Skylight if my legs are up for it. So yeah, back in the Adirondacks working on my 46. So speaking of which, if this weekend goes as planned, I could finish. I'll have like 24 high peaks in, 24 of the 46, which would be pretty cool. I'm not really killing myself to try and get them all done, but not getting younger, right? So there is a small sense of purpose. But pretty normal trail at this point, pretty easy approach to the dam, which I haven't been to the dam, so we'll get a look at that together, and hopefully we find a suitable campsite so I can get at the mountains quicker. I'll check back in a little bit. So if some of you have noticed, sometimes I do hike with a group of people. It's an outside club, the Outside Chronicles, based mostly around Buffalo, New York. And when I hike with that group, I don't record a whole lot, mostly out of respect for them. A lot of these like walk-by shots and some of these still shots, like they take time, and I don't really want to hold the whole group up just for me. And the idea of the group is to stick together, so, and it's really a respect thing for their privacy. It's a pretty good group I went with on the last one. I don't know if any of them would have really cared that much, but still, I get what I come for. I get the views, I share the views, and then you know, don't talk a whole lot with those ones. And maybe those are better because my mouth ain't running so much. But yeah, so maybe this one will be a little more narrated. Try and let people know what I'm up to on this one. All right, humans, catch you later. So this is what's left of Marcy Dam. As you can probably make out for yourself, whatever this used to do, it don't do no more. But yeah, I knew the dam really wasn't damming anything anymore from previous videos, but yeah, there it is. And yeah, there's our mountain waiting for us, calling. So let's go see if we can find a campsite around here that that'll work. There's a bridge just downstream from where the dam used to be. These markers mark where approved camping is, and you need to be where it's approved, otherwise you may get a knock in the night from the DEC telling you to move on. And then you just kind of scoot around and look for the best situation. So that's what I'm doing, looking for the best situation. Definitely looks like there's plenty of options. And I probably don't need one of these huge sites. But I'm gonna look around a little bit more, but pretty sure I'm darn close to where I'm gonna be for the night. Set up camp and then get hiking. Because like I said, I'm not a camper, I'm a hiker. I found a campsite that is pretty much at the very end of the line here, and it is way out of the way, and I probably added a few extra steps because I came this far back, but it looks like it's close to a privy, which is pretty sweet. Maybe the only negative is in the morning, so like getting early starts. May or may not be trudging through a bunch of other campsites, but hey, it's just part of the deal. So there's our sign. We can camp here. Really no fires anywhere in this part of the Adirondacks, which works for me because honestly, I never really like to deal with fires anyways. So yeah, here we are. I'll ping this on the map, and this will be our base camp. And for those who may not understand what base camp is, that's just where you hike all your gear to a spot, set up a tent, and leave all the non-essential gear to go do your hiking. So I won't, right now I'm hauling about maybe 22 pounds all day, food, water. And yeah, tomorrow when I'm hiking, you know, I only have 5 or 6 pounds of gear total. One other thing maybe with this far out of the way campsite is I'm not as close to the water, but not too worried about that. I can get what I need. I'm sure there's something close by. I'll just figure it out. All right, humans. See you once the tent's up. All right, tent set up. It's not a perfect pitch. First time setting this particular tent up. I have the Durston 2-person tent that I normally use, but I wanted to cut weight, go a little smaller. This thing, fresh out of the bag today. With the 2-person, I already have it set up so the fly in the inner are tied together, so it's really quick and easy to put together. This thing is 2 pieces, a little bit of learning curve to say the least, but it's up. It'll keep me dry, it'll keep me warm. I can, you know, adjust and detail at another time, but right now it's time to get on trail, get hiking before it gets too late. And there is a little rain in the forecast, but nothing crazy, so maybe we'll get lucky and skip it. If not, we'll make decisions as need be. Onward. It's about 70-ish degrees, somewhere in there, and it's pretty warm once you get moving up these hills. And for about the last week or so, there has been a haze, a cloudy kind of fog over the area because of the Canadian wildfires. So it kind of made sense today to hike what should be an easier, shorter hike on my short day, coming in, setting up camp, and with the possibility of rain, and one of these peaks doesn't have a view anyways. So yeah, Phelps and tabletop were the logical choice for today. We'll see if I can at least get one of them in before it downpours. As long as it's just rain, I'll hike in it. If the lightning starts to roll in, and you know, I'll have to make some decisions, but no matter what you do, you're already out here. You're in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, just gotta have to make smart decisions. Right now it's just normal Adirondack rocks and stones. Not too bad. So this is the spur trail up to Phelps, and so far nothing crazy, what you'd expect. Up and rocks and roots. Nothing to it. So a little more than halfway up. It's really just been just a nice gradual same pitch up, but it's dirt and rocks, so it's a little slippy in spots. Nothing crazy. I'm just sweating like crazy because it's so humid. But now we just got to our first kind of rock, you know, bigger rock scramble. I wouldn't really call it a slide. So what do I like about this? It usually means you're close to a peak when you start running into this stuff here, but looks like it's gonna require just a little more effort than I've been putting in, but for the most part it isn't bad. I look bad because I'm just pouring sweat. Drink lots of water. All right, let's get up there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is literally sweat dripping off of me. I hope there's a breeze at the top of this thing. I know it doesn't break the tree line, but there could be a breeze through the trees. I would enjoy that. Okay, humans, we didn't make great time going up Phelps, but we did make pretty good time coming down Phelps. It's really hard to judge the weather right now from tops of Phelps. You could kind of hear it a little bit off in the distance, but you couldn't see anything at all as far as black clouds. But that can change in a heartbeat out here. The reality is sometimes you just have to make an educated guess. If you waited for perfect weather to do these hikes, well, it'd take you 100 years. So I'll keep an eye on it. I have no problems bailing out if I feel unsafe, but right now it's just the rain isn't here, the clouds aren't here, so it's worth it to me to push on. All right, I got just a little less than 2 miles to the top of Tabletop, which anybody who's ever been out here and climbed these mountains, 2 miles is not a typical 2 miles. It's 2 miles, it's all uphill. So I did have a little sprinkling, but talked to someone coming from this way and they said it wasn't bad. But could open up at any moment. Normally time is my problem. I don't think time is my issue today. The weather and staying hydrated could cause me to bail out on this peak, but right now still trudging 2 miles. If I can go a mile an hour, I'll be in pretty good shape. We'll see. Keep track of it. All right, humans, stay tuned, because at this point I don't know how this one's gonna end. Well, starting to rain more. Not terrible. I don't hear any thunder. I haven't seen any lightning. Just rain so far, but I wanted to get to this junction by 3 o'clock to gauge how fast I'm moving, if I'm moving fast enough, and it's 2:37, so I'm moving pretty good. It's a little less than a mile to get to the peak, but it is a peak, so it's going to be slow. But if I'm up there by 3:30, I think I'm right on pace. And I'm not ready to put my rain jacket on because the rain feels better than my sweaty, nasty clothes. So keep rehydrating, just keep my feet moving. Might just get this peak done. All right, enough jibber jabber, let's go. So this is definitely what they call a herd path. So mostly a maintained trail, bushwhacked into the forest. Obviously enough people hike it so you can pretty much see where it goes without the blazes. But you know one thing, you gotta keep going up. So if you find yourself not going up, better check your map. Definitely get turned around in here though. step off to take a leak and better know where you're headed. Oh. See if we can navigate this without going up to our knees in mud. Swampy. So, made it to the peak. Gotta look around, see if maybe there's a side trail to a better view. Maybe this is it. Thought there was a better view up here, but what do I know? As far as the weather goes, it seems to have stayed just, I don't know what direction that is, to be honest with you. Stayed just kind of north. It's like been threatening, but it must be off ruining someone else's hike. As far as time, as I expected, I'm ahead of my schedule just because I got to that junction ahead of my schedule. So it's 3:21. I wanted to be up here by 4 at the latest. If I didn't think I could get up here by 4, I was going to abandon it. But yeah, now this is peak 21, I guess. Now it's time to get the hell off this mountain before the weather does catch up to me. Get back to camp, drink a ton of water, eat some salty food, and get an actual night's sleep for a big day tomorrow. Sure, I'll record a little more on the way out of here and some in camp, but till then, peak 2 today, made it. Relatively good spirits. All right, see ya. Back to camp, safe and sound. Really shouldn't spin this thing around so fast. It's kind of nauseating. Tent is still upright, so that's kind of nice. So far, I don't have any neighbors, which is nice. I'm at the very end of the line for the campsites. And then the next step is the Thunderbox, which I'll take a minute or two to show you the Thunderbox in a little bit. It's not even 5:30 yet. It's great. So I got plenty of time to make dinner, get the tent set for sleep, and I will be to bed soon and sleeping like a baby. And if you're planning on coming out here, you do have to have an Adirondack approved bear canister. Those clear light blue ones that are super popular because they're extremely light, they're not approved out here. They'll stop you from using it. I guess the DEC will even take it from you if they walk into your camp and see it. But I own my own. But the lodge, the Adirondack Lodge, if you're out at Johns Brooks Lodge, and there's other places around here, they'll loan them to you, or you can rent one, so you don't have to go all in and buy one. And then for, if you don't know, I know a lot of people who watch my videos don't actually do any of this stuff. The bear vault has to be at least 100 feet from your camp. And my suggestion would be is don't take it near a river or a really steep ravine, because the bears can't get into it, but that don't mean they won't slap it around a little bit and remove it from your possession forever. So that's that. Dinner, back to cold soaking. So that's not going to be exciting. It's just cold soaked couscous and some Spam and some mayo, and it's disgusting, and it's exactly what I need right now. So I don't know. If there's more, I'll share. If not, see you tomorrow. Okay, I said I would tell you what a thunderbox is. This is a thunderbox. This is a toilet in the backcountry. Not an outhouse, obviously. The way this works, really don't want to show you too much. But yeah, lid opens up like so, and on this particular one, it leans oddly forward, so it very much the lid wants to close on your back. And so I had put a trekking pole up against it to hold it shut. And this one here happens to face the trail coming in, so basically it faces oncoming traffic. So you can look someone dead in the eyes and tell them this seat's taken. Yep, not pretty, but way better than digging holes. And they're all over out here, these privies and, you know, outhouses and thunderboxes. So honestly, you rarely have to dig a hole unless you're like in panic mode. So just thought I'd share.